Hello, staff. Hope you've had a great summer. Hope you're still having a great summer. I know there's a few more days left. I wanted to go ahead and do a little demo or tutorial of Classkick for you to help you get an idea of how to get started. This is a great resource that we were able to get purchased. Probably maybe wouldn't have happened before all the stuff happened, but we've got it, and the license is good through the end of July of 2020. So we can make the use of this, make great use of this, if everybody will be familiar with it. All right, so I wanted just to go through an entire process of creating an assignment here. So just right from the beginning, you're going to go to classkick.com and you're going to click on login, and then you're going to choose teacher. If it's your first time logging in, you're going to need to click sign up with Google. If because that it will recognize that you haven't signed in before. So for many of you, you're going to have to actually click sign up with Google. But once you've done that, you can click continue with Google, and it'll just automatically get you logged in. Now, everybody should have a pro account because we've purchased it for the school. So, but I happen to know all of the teachers that have the pro account right now, and so I've spoken specifically with all of them. So if I've not had a conversation directly with you about it, I'm certain you don't have a pro account yet. You might have actually signed up for an account, but it's not a pro account, which means you'd be missing some tools. So anyway, so to get on with this here, you can see here in my assignments list, I've got a whole bunch of stuff here, and these are all folders. And inside the folders are a bunch of more lessons and activities and stuff. So there's a whole bunch of stuff in my account. For your account, the first time through, you're not going to have much of anything. You might have I think there's like a demo lesson they have in here and maybe something else, but it's going to be pretty well empty. Okay. In the rosters tab, I'm going to have rosters, of course, because I've got classes from last year that I've got a lot of kids from, and I'll explain what these numbers are in a little bit. This is from last year's classes. This is for a demo that I did for our math department, and these are classes that I have set up for next year. I figured I was going to be teaching 4 classes, so I just labeled them 1, 2, 3, 4. But there's nobody in there just yet because, well, we're not at school yet. Notifications. If sometimes you can share assignments and lessons with other teachers, and so if they do that, you'll have a notification here saying so and so shared this assignment with you. You can see on the profile tab. You can see here we're good through July of 2020, and I won't click on pro users because it's going to have a lot of names there, so I'll spare you guys that. But anyway, for the assignments, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new assignment. This is going to be where you would be, except for not having all this in your account, if you wanted to make an assignment. So in the past, what you would do, what many of you have done, is you've gone to your computer, you found a file, a PDF file is what it's called, and you've gone to print it. And then once you print it, you go make a million copies. Chop down a couple trees in the process, whatever it might be, and you're walking around and your back might be going out because the paper you're carrying is so heavy. So we want to see if we can avoid some of that, all right? So what we're going to do is, instead of going to the file on our computer and printing it, we're going to go to the file on our computer this way. We're going to click the plus sign, and we're going to create from file, and we're going to select file, and I'm going to select something that I've already actually used, but I'm going to do it blank. So I've already made this lesson, but I'm going to go ahead and make this one from scratch, and then I'll just delete it afterwards. So interesting the way that it uploads here. When you look at this little plus sign here, this is like a little screen snipping tool. So if you just wanted a part of a screen, you could just highlight a circle in here the same way you would if you were going to take a screen snip, I guess it would be, not really a screenshot. I guess you could call it a screenshot as well. So you could do that if you wanted to, or you could also just select one page by clicking next, and it would just be one of these pages. In this case, it's a 5-page document, and I want all the pages, so I'll click import all pages. And then it lets you kind of review what's in there. And so that's the snapshot of what's in there, and then you click finish, and it will take you to the assignment. And you want to first go ahead and give the assignment a title here. So you can see up here, it's blank. I'm going to call mine to be deleted because I've already uploaded this assignment and I don't need to have a duplicate of it. But you would probably name it something that's related to the assignment, right? So here we have all of the slides in the assignment. So it's kind of like a slide presentation. And you can click on each individual one. And what you want to do, I like to give it a little decoration. So I like to give it a background. So you can click on background, and we have a little color. All right, I think I chose a different color for my lesson, which I'll show you in a little bit. But so we give it a little bit of color there. Okay, now there's all kinds of tools up here that you have to be able to add to the slide, and you can add it anywhere on the slide without any difficulty whatsoever. The exciting thing is that the kids also will have all these tools on their end. They can do all of these things as well. So I'm just going to go through all of them and show you what they look like here. I'm going to make some sort of mess on my screen because I just want you to see how the tool works. And then I'll take you back to how it actually looked when I completed the lesson to give to the kids. So this basically just is a way of keeping you from seeing, or you can see where you're at on the screen. So basically you can just you scroll up and down. It's pretty basic. Here is a pin. Here is the tool to change the color. So let's say I want to use an orange color. This will take you to where you can change the size of the ink or whatever. So this is the next to thickest. All right, so you can have whatever works for you depending on how you're using it, right? But let's say I like this one here. This is what works best for me. So I can go ahead and draw, arrows. Let's say I want to draw an arrow. I can come in here, draw an arrow there. I can draw it anywhere. On the student's end, they can draw an arrow too. So if they need help with a specific thing, they can make their arrow, or they can kind of circle, whatever it is that they want to circle. Okay, so we have a highlighter tool. The highlighter, I believe, you have to be in your pro account to have. If you're not in your pro account, if you didn't sign up, then I don't think it's there. And then you can see here the color. You can use yellow, right, which is, I guess, the traditional one. But if you want to use a different color, you can. For this one here, you can use any level of thickness as well. You can just sort of highlight whatever, and so it's transparent, but it's still highlighted, so that's nice. The eraser allows you to erase, obviously. The undo button will also undo the last action. So the arrow comes back because the last thing I did was erase it. So, but we'll keep on erasing it now. Okay, let's see, what else do we have? We have a text box. Okay, this is crucial. This text box here allows you to type in. If you don't want to draw in your words, you can type in. You can say whatever you would like. And if you don't want it to be in black, you can change the color this way. So let's say you wanted to use blue, right? I think some teachers may decide that they want to have their color the teacher color. So maybe the light blue is the teacher color, or not. You don't have to. We haven't done that in our class, but that might be an idea. You can change the background if you want it to really stand out more. If you want to give it a background, you can do that. I find that more often than not, it's best not to have a background because that way it takes up less space and you don't have to worry about your text box covering up something that you don't want it to cover up. When you're in there, you can change the size right away. So let's say I want to make this bigger. I can just hit the plus button until it gets bigger. If I want to make it really smaller, I can do that. And it keeps the definition, if you will, in the word. So I can still read that, even though it's the smallest one. I think most of the kids can still read that. So if you needed to squeeze that into a small place, you could. And that's going to be important when you're helping them on their work because there's going to be things on the worksheet that you're not going to want to cover up. Okay, and then of course I can delete that. Other things I can do, the underline tool. Very cool. You can imagine a million ways to use this. If I want to just make a straight line for underlining, or, well, this wouldn't be for underlining, this is just a straight line. If I want to use a straight line to underline, of course I can do that here. The cool thing with the straight line is you can go in and you can change all kinds of things with that too. You can change, once I click on the line, I can change the color. It's yellow. And then I can change the thickness as well. You can see here, this will change the thickness. So let's say I want to make it the thickest. Well, that's actually almost like a table. Or the thinnest, and it's very thin, right? So you can change all of that. I like it to be more, well, that's too much. Let's try 4. Okay, so we'll leave it like that for now, and you can rotate it. If you click these little bottom parts here, you can totally like change it like that. Okay, which reminds me, you can do the same thing with what you uploaded. So you see here, excuse me, we can change the size of this very document like this. Go really small. We can move it around wherever. Okay, we can also rotate it. Okay, so for this type of activity, you would never want to rotate it because you want it to be showing to where they can access it. But there's a lot of other things that you will be able to find benefit in rotating. And I'll show you that in a little bit. Okay, so for now, I'm just going to leave this here. So other things to look at here, you can add in a link. Okay, so let's say we want to add in a link. I have all these. This is all like pre-memorized here. I can add in a link, and you can do youtube.com. I have my own YouTube videos that I make that of course have more specific addresses, but we can move the link wherever you'd like. We click on that, and it's to youtube.com, right? So we'll X out of that. And again, we don't really actually need this. So you can do all of this here. You can also add in a picture. This is something that's very, very cool because of the way that you can format the pictures as well. So if I look here, let's say I have some pictures. Let me try to find something. Let's try it. Okay, well, just for the sake, we'll use aquarium. Okay, so here it is right now, and I go through and I add it, and you're going to think, wait a second, you just covered up the entire lesson. Well, no reason to worry. Once I click in the picture, I can click this, I can resize it to whatever I want it to be. I can move it wherever I want it to be. Okay, if I want to make it a little bigger here, I can. I want to go around here, I can. If I want to rotate it, I can do that, right? So you're going to have to imagine the possibilities. So this is why it's so important to have more teachers on board with this program, because once your creative abilities and your knowledge and everything gets factored into all this, there's going to be all kinds of ideas we're going to come up with that I can't even think about, all right? So other things we can do. Very, very helpful, especially for personalization. This, again, you're going to see in a little bit, this can be done for the entire class at once, or it can be done on just one student's paper, depending on their needs. So if you've got one student with specific needs, you can help them, and you can do that anonymously. The rest of the class won't have any idea. Okay, so let's say you want to send them a voice note. Let's say that you want to send them a note, and you want them to know something, but it's going to be a little bit of a pain to type it out. You can start recording. So the very first time you do this is going to ask you permission for your computer, but mine's already done that. So if I start recording, I can say this. Hello, staff. I hope you had a great summer, and now we get started for the 2019-2020 school year. All right, so I stop and save, and that creates this voice box here. I can move this wherever I want, play it back. Hello, staff. I hope you had a great summer. Okay, we'll get rid of that. All right, so you can add that anywhere, and the students can add that as well. So if the student has a specific question and they have a hard time typing out the words, but they want to just say it, they can ask a question that way. Other tools, we have manipulatives. These work the same way as pictures, except you can move and rotate them. So you can see here, here's a little bit of a demo, right, for basic stuff here if you wanted to have them breaking down words, right? So it's awesome. You would just upload it the same way you would upload any old picture. Okay, so we upload this one here. This is part of a lesson we did. So if we upload this and then we finish it, what matters is the students will be able to manipulate this the way that we are. We were able to manipulate all the photos already anyway because it was our photo, but now the students will be able to upload this. So you could put in a text box and you could say something like, match the photo with the correct word or something. And you would type in the word in the text box, and then they can drag the photo to be next to the correct word. Okay, other things that are awesome. We look right here, you can see a fill-in-the-blank question option. This is absolutely amazing. Some of you have used Edulastic before, and you like the fact that you can enter in answers for a question and have it automatically graded. Well, this works that way. You can put this anywhere you want. You click on this anywhere you want. That's where the question will be. So maybe I want to put it here. Underneath the aquarium picture, right? And then so I can put in an acceptable answer. If I were to ask the question, what is this? Well, it's an aquarium, and I can set the points. I can say, okay, let's say it's 3 points. All right. If the student enters an aquarium, they get 3 points. If you allow them to see their grades, they can know right away that they got it right. Or if you don't want them to know right away, but you want to know, then you can set it up to where they don't see the grades, but then you will. Okay, this is especially helpful because you can move this anywhere. You can also add in a text box here. I can ask something totally different here. I can say, what is your name? Right? I mean, that wouldn't really be a quiz question, but you can put whatever you want right there, and then the answer box is next to it. You can also resize the answer box as well. You can resize it like that. Okay, so depending on how much space you have, you may want to make it really small. Uh, and then what happens is that the student will click on this, and then a new little window will pop up for them, and they'll start typing in their answer, and it'll be automatically graded. You can do the same thing here for multiple choice questions. I haven't done many of these because I want them to think about it. I want them to actually fill in the answer. I don't want them just to choose A, B, C, or D, but you could use that. Another cool thing is the stickers. Okay, so stickers is something that you would use when you're monitoring student work. So I'm going to show you how that works in a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to leave this made up assignment that I'm going to delete, and I'm going to go to the actual real version of it that I sent to kids, and so we can see what it looks like when kids get it. So it was in my Unit 3 unit rate and percents unit, and it was lesson 15. Okay, and so this is the slide presentation all decorated. So here is that. Okay, so here was the first warm up. You can see I gave it a purple background. You can add in the objective. So I've got the objective and the standards there. Slide 2, you can see here. This is a GIF or a GIF image. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Sorry, but I added this in. You can tell I added it in because I have the option to delete it here. The trash can in the right corner. I can resize it as I want. Okay, but it's a little bit of there's a little bit of liveliness to it instead of being just a standalone picture. It's something that can be a little bit kind of entertaining. And then for the sale here, I added this in. And you might also be wondering what these videos are. Well, these videos are videos that I made, and they're on my YouTube channel.
Hello, class. Welcome to the second activity of lesson 50.
So I've linked in a video explaining how to work through all this, and it's on YouTube, accessible at any time, and it can be you can add closed captioning or subtitles, and they're also available in Spanish. So even though I can't speak Spanish, my videos that I make are available with Spanish subtitles. Okay, so that's what it looks like on this end here. I kind of made the decorations. Now what is going to be very interesting is the view work option here. Okay, so in the view work option, this allows you to see, this is all of the slides for all of the kids in just one of the classes, right? So this is period 9, 10. If I want to go to period 11, 12, I can do that. And this has got all of the work here. All right, so now then what I can do, now let's say that you really wanted to focus on one slide. You can see here at the end, this last slide, where the points are. This is an auto-graded quiz that I had, so let's take a look here. You can see where the green boxes are. These are where they entered in the answers. So Josue Velasquez found out that 65% of 80 is 52. He entered that in. And I had this to where he can see his grade, so he knew he got it right. Now, he couldn't just keep choosing between A, B, and C, or D. It's not a multiple choice question. He had to actually find 52 in order to be aware that he was correct. And I think that if you're entering it that way, I think it's beneficial to know that I get it right or not. I think we want to know, am I doing the right things or am I not? I think it's important to know right away, and it's impossible for us as teachers to grade everybody's paper immediately. It is physically impossible. But it actually is possible for them to know their grade right away through entering in their answers this way. And you can see what I did. I was able to add in text boxes here just to make it clear. So if I felt like there was something that wasn't clear, I can add this in. The wave is just for fun. No big deal. If you want to add in a calculator, because I wanted to make sure that they could use a calculator, I add in the link here. If I want to add in the calculator on just some of their pages, but not all, I can do that as well. So the way that part works is if I want to go into a student's page, you can see how I just did for Josue. Okay, so let's say I want to go in. I go into Jennifer Sierra's page, and I look and see what she's got here, and I want to just put something just on her page. You can see you were helping Jennifer Sierra, nobody else. So whatever I put on her page, I can still use all these tools, but it would only be seen by Jennifer because I'm just on her page. They can raise their hand for help. You can see here, Jimena raised her hand for help. Let's see, what did she ask for here? We have 7, She wants to please check. So help is one category. If they need help, they can raise their hand for help, or just check, they can raise their hand for check. So these students wanted their work checked. Now, as it turns out, I had to tell them, look, just check your grades, but they still kind of wanted to make sure that I saw what they did, and so that's fine. You can see their work exactly as they work on it. If you look at, for example, Raymond Munoz. Okay, if I click on Raymond, you can see this is what Raymond did. All right, now I don't know what that is. Let's see what that is. Okay, he added in a link by accident, I guess. But you can see he did some highlighting, and he added in his answers. And if I wanted to write on his page right now, I could write on just his page. I could draw all over his page, right? But, I won't actually do that, so I'm going to erase it. And we can communicate back and forth that way if you had specific questions. We could still add in the pictures. We could still add in the audio recordings. The sticker option is something that's really cool, and I'm going to show you that in a second. Now, this is all of the slides for all the kids, but let's say that I wanted to really focus on just one slide. Okay, if I just wanted to focus on one slide, I could go just to slide 5, okay, for example. All right, so if I go to slide 5, now what I'm seeing is just that one slide, okay, and it's a little bit bigger now. So I can literally scroll through here, and I can see how everybody did. I can see it right there. So if I see something that looks a little odd on somebody's page, I can click right in there and get right on it. I can say, what's this right here? What are these 2 marks? It just looks like it's just 2 marks. But so I know, okay, Diego, that's what he's doing, and so on, right? I can go through here. I can sort their names however I want. I can sort them through A to Z, Z to A, last name, same thing, and grades high to low or low to high. So I like to see grades high to low. Grades high to low help me to put grades in the grade book because once I got done with all the numbers here, if anybody didn't have anything, I'd know they'd get a 0. Okay, it looks like a lot of people got the points for this here. So that's the idea on that. And so I think that's going to cover, the stickers. So I can go in with stickers. I can go this way. I can give a sticker here. I made these up right here. Mr. Sanchez has some better stickers. You can ask him for cooler stickers. But so I have this one here, for example. I'm going to put down, I'm going to put this on Melanie's page. And so she's got that. And so it actually, she got it. I made it +1 point, so it changes her score. Probably best not to have it change their score, unless you actually want them to get a bonus point for it. But you can also just go into the individual page. Let me close the sticker one here, and then I can go into an individual page. And I already gave Paula that sticker, but okay, so you can see if I wanted to give her another sticker, I could click on the sticker button here, and I could give her that. Okay, she probably doesn't want a B sticker. Okay, so I think for now that covers a lot. And if you would like more help, let me know, and I can help you out. All right, thanks, bye.